How's it going, guys? Andrew here with Justified EDC, and today I have a wallet review for you. I'm not sure if I've done any, actually comprehensive wallet reviews yet on this channel. I know I've been showing off a couple different ones, and you guys know I switch them out every once in a while, but I kind of find one that I like, and I stick with it for a while. I'm not someone who really rotates through wallets, but this is a review of the Arrowhead Goods Co. Outlaw wallet. Arrowhead Goods Co., I've been talking to him on Instagram. He's a good guy. Him and I have been going back and forth about some stuff, and I really liked his leather work, so I asked if he'd be willing to send something along for the channel, and he sent this along, as well as another product, which you'll probably see here in the future, that's a little more geared towards the medical side of things. But I wanted to get into this, and we'll compare it to some other wallets that I've run, and I'll just give you some thoughts on it. Overall, if you just want my overall thoughts, it's a great wallet. If you're looking for something small and minimalist, it's great. There you go. You can stop the review right there. I think it's awesome. But we'll get into it here. But before we do, we, as always, have to thank the sponsor of the channel, Auxiliary Manufacturing. Mike over at Auxiliary Manufacturing is doing awesome custom USA-made fixed blades like this Pocket Bowie and the Sumi. He's got a bunch of different designs out. He was at Blade Show this year, and doing really good work. He helped me out tremendously with the channel, sending stuff over to review and helping me improve the channel. We're actually looking at some stuff upcoming here that might be interesting to you guys, but if you're looking for a custom USA made fixed blade, definitely go check him out. I do have a discount code with him. Code Justified10 will get you 10% off your order on his website. I'll leave links down in the description to his Instagram and his website and all that good stuff, so if you're interested, definitely go check him out. And thank you as always to Mike for sponsoring the channel. So let's get right into this here. I will give you some sizes, and then we'll get into the capacity and all that kind of stuff. So overall size here, you're looking at just under 4 inches overall in height. Your overall width is just under 3 inches. And then how I have this kitted out, this has 6 cards, one kind of business card, and some cash in here, and it's about 3/8 thick. You could probably push this out closer to like a 1/2 inch if you loaded it up a little bit more, but this is kind of what I carry. I just picked up some of these blank white cards here to finally do wallet reviews, because especially, and I can throw these in here now for when I do EDC updates. I'm always trying to hide my information, but I was like, I should be a professional and get some of these, so that's what we're going to be using today. The leather on here, it was just a natural. I'm not sure exactly what the color was technically. You can go look on his website. I'll leave links to all that kind of stuff for all his color options. There's a bunch of color options, thread options. This one happens to have the red thread. I think it looks really nice. There's his logo on there, which I also dig. Just a really cool logo. And then this is, I don't know what you call this style, but it's a top folder here, and then the top flap just tucks into the front here. As we'll get into some comparisons to some other wallets, it really reminds me of one of the OpenSea leather wallets. I think it's the Topsider. The Topsider QuickDraw is one I carried for years, and I really liked it. So when I saw this one, I was like, this one looks like the one for me. He has a couple different other wallets out there as well. He has some knife slips and stuff as well. And like I said, he's kind of venturing into some more of the medical stuff, some more elastic to carry your medical gear. But this is the Outlaw. This runs at $50. Pretty much all of his wallets, from what I saw on his website, run about $50. There's a couple that look like they were, special colors or whatever, that I think we're going up to like 65. But overall, $50 is pretty par for the course for what wallets like this cost for, handmade leather. And I'm very happy with that price. So I'll get into some of the features here. I'm going to take everything out here so you can kind of see the wallet as it comes. So on the back here, you have a quick access slot. I keep 2 cards in there, and that seems to hold 2 cards pretty comfortably. You might be able to squeeze a 3rd one in there, but when I did, I was traveling the other weekend, and I slipped my hotel room key in there. It did stretch out fine and carry it, but this is going to kind of conform to whatever you decide to put in there. So you can kind of, customize this to how you want. Inside, you have 2 slots. You have this slot here, this slot here. You can put cards, cash, whatever you want. And then this front slot here is for the flap to tuck into to keep everything secure. Not gonna lie, when I first got this, when I put all my stuff in there, and it was still kind of forming and stretching and all that, it was kind of hard to get that front flap in. And I was kind of worried, will that be an issue, long term, but not to worry. As I carried it and it kind of molded to my gear and stretched out, you can tell, there's lots of patina and scratches on this. I've been carrying this for a couple weeks now, but it's much easier to get that in and out now. I'm no worries. So yeah, you have these 2 slots in here. The way I was carrying it here is I had, get this out here, I have my range card here for the local range that I go to. I just tuck that in the back there. You could tuck cards or cash back in there. And then I had 4 cards here on the inside, my credit cards, grocery card, my carry permit, all that kind of stuff. And then twice folded cash I just slipped in right in front of that, tuck that away. And then I had 2 cards, my driver's license and my debit card here in the back. So that's how I have it completely loaded out. And as you can see, it's still a very, very thin minimalist package. Very happy with how thin this carries. It's really not that much wider than the credit cards itself, so it's not taking up a lot of room. If you're looking from transitioning from like a big bifold or trifold wallet that's really bulky and looking for something that'll carry nicely in your front pocket, this is a great option. I do carry my wallets in my front pocket, so I look for something kind of slim because I usually carry my wallet in my front left pocket, and I usually have my flashlight in there. And recently I've been carrying this little cigarette holder in that same pocket as well. So I like something to be nice and slim and thin for a front pocket carry, and this is very doable. It's also very easy to get to your cards. Again, I keep my debit card and my license, so the quick access stuff, very easy to get those in and out. The retention is good. It's not going to come out on you. These cards are a little bit dimensionally just a hair smaller. So, if I really shake it, I can get them to kind of start sliding out. But when the normal sized, full size cards are in there, they're not going anywhere, but they're still very easy to get in and out. Same thing here, easy enough to get access to the inside. You just flip this up. You can get to any of your cards like that. You can pull your cash out. I say it looks easy, but I'm just fumbling it. And then, you can get to that back slot as well. No problem. So I would encourage you, if you've never had, like a handmade leather piece before, and you get this and you're worried about how tight it is, just give it a couple days. Just carry it a bunch. That's especially in these hot summer months, the heat and the moisture from your sweat and stuff like that will really start to conform everything. The leather will stretch out, no problem. So I wouldn't worry about that. So let me get you a comparison to some other wallets here. These are kind of the 3 other wallets other than this one that I've really stuck to. They're ones I kind of go back to. If I feel like changing it up, I usually kind of just carry one wallet for most of the year. I don't really switch it up a lot. So I had been carrying for the longest time this OpenSea leather back actually when this was Das Offenemir, which is just OpenSea in German, before he changed to the English pronunciation. This was the OpenSea leather Topsider QuickDraw, which, as you can see, a kind of similar design to this, where the front flips open. You have this one, you have the 2 slots here inside, and this one is just kind of cross-cut, so you kind of just slip it here in the side. But with this one, what you can do is you can slip cash completely open. Let's see if I can get this out here and show you. What you can do with this one is you can put full unfolded bills in here, and then you kind of just fold it with the top and tuck it in. That works really nice for, being able to look through your cash and everything, but, if you have a lot in there, sometimes it's kind of hard to tuck that in. So, there's pros and cons to both, but I've had no problem with just folding this twice, tucking it in the front, and then go into town like that. It hasn't been a big deal. So the other, and again, you have a quick access slot here in the back, just like on the Arrowhead, and then this one you had like an extra slot in there, which is where I'd keep like business cards and stuff like that. But overall, you can see the difference if I overlay these here. They're about the same height, but this one's probably about, looking probably about a ½ inch wider, which never really bothered me, but having it in a smaller form factor like this really is nice. You get pretty much the same capability as this, but in a little bit smaller of a package. So I carried this for years. As you can see, it's really, really dark and scratched up. The blue leather here you can see was really, really worn down from being up against my body. Yeah, so this will eventually darken even as much as this one, but so I carried that for a while, and I switched on and off to this. This was made on by Head On Tactical, just a like Cordura, not Cordura, like nylon, whatever you want to call it. Just a bifold. You put cash in the back here. You have 2 card slots, no closure or anything, and then a hook and loop. I went through a phase where I wanted to put patches on everything I could. I'm sure some of you guys have gone through the same phase as well. So that one I went back to. This was probably the one I carried for the longest. I carried this for many, many years. And then most recently, I found this one, the Rustic Heirloom Hitchhiker, which form factor very, very similar to the Arrowhead Outlaw. So that's why when he offered to send me one, I said, you know, this one's probably going to be the best because it's very similar to the Hitchhiker. And up until getting this, I was like, I don't think I'm ever going to use anything other than the Hitchhiker. The Hitchhiker is just one slot in here. You can put as many cards as you want, and then you have a back slot here for cash. You have the snap top. You have a lanyard. I just really liked how slim and minimal and small this was, how easy it was to use. And I really, actually, to be completely honest with you, wasn't really looking forward to doing a wallet review because I didn't want to stop carrying this because I liked how small it was. But as you can see, really overall, they are pretty much the exact same size. And when you have this loaded out, it's pretty much exactly the same width. So here, I'll sit some of these side by side so you can see just a comparison. You can use this Arrowhead one as just like a standard bifold size. Most bifold wallets are exactly the same dimensions as this. So you can see, compared to these two, much thinner in terms of the width. And then with the Rustic Heirloom, which I know is very popular, very, very similar in overall. I think it's actually a little bit shorter. It might be just a tad wider, you know, when you line them up, but it's negligible. So if you like the size of the Hitchhiker, you'll like this. So let me get you some other comparisons of some other, you know, stuff that you might be familiar with if you don't have any of those wallets. So obviously you have standard credit card. So next to your standard credit card, that's the size. Here's a Bic lighter right up next to that. Let me see some other stuff that you guys might be familiar with. Oh, here, you know what? I'll just pull this out. Here's a Milwaukee Fastback with the, don't mind the G3D mod I have on here, but that's the 1501 one with the bit driver. Here is the standard Milwaukee Fastback. So overall size, you can see there. What's some other stuff that I can use? Oh, that needs to go back in my pocket. Here is a Leatherman Wave. So I put my Fastback back in my pocket. Here's a Leatherman Skeletool. You know, I try not to use like knife comparisons for these kinds of reviews because, you know, it's not a knife review, but, you know, there's certain knives that just everyone's familiar with. And, you know, I'll give you a size comparison. Here's a Spyderco Para 3. So you can see the size there. So I don't have a whole lot more to say about this, guys. Again, this is kind of just me shooting from the hip, the things that I like about it. You know, I haven't really done a whole lot of wallet reviews here, but I really appreciate Arrowhead Goods Co. sending this over. I really, really do enjoy carrying this, and I honestly, I don't know. I'm probably gonna go back and forth between these for, you know, a couple days, couple weeks, and kind of see which one I like better. I don't think, you know, for your guys' perspective, I'm trying to remember the price on the Hitchhiker. I should have put it up. I think they're very similar. I think this might be like 60, something like that. But I think they're pretty similarly priced. So I don't know. In terms of for you guys, I'd say if you like the form factor of this, the quality is there. I think the price hits. So I would say, you know, if you're interested in one of these, definitely pick one up. I think it'll serve you well. I'm very happy with how it's wearing in. There's not really any criticisms I have of this. You know, the only thing I might say is, you know, I'm not saying, you know, I don't want him to rip off someone else's design or anything like that, but it might be interesting to see if he could do a similar thing to, you know, how OpenSea did, where, you know, you kind of angle this so you can kind of slide cash in like that with it. I don't know if that would work on the smaller design like this, but you know, something for him to try out if he feels like it. But yeah, really happy with this wallet. If you guys have been looking at these, I definitely say go ahead and pull the trigger. There's a bunch of color options, thread options, like I said. He does have a couple other wallets as well that are different form factors and stuff like that, all very minimalist. He has some that, you know, has like a coin pocket in the front as well. He does some knife slips, so definitely go check him out. I'll leave links to his pages down in the description. I'll link all of these as well if you're interested, just, you know, for comparison's sake, to compare prices and sizes and all that kind of stuff. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you again to Arrowhead Goods Co. for sending this over. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down in the comments section. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video.